Question number 3. For the given vectors v1 and v2, remember v here is in boldface, so it is a vector. Determine the magnitude of the vector difference v prime v2 minus v1. So if the tail of the two vectors are at one point, remember v2 minus v1 is this vector that is going to v2. Okay, I will show you here. So this is v1, this is v2. This is called, let me change the color to green, v2 minus v1. Okay, some people make a mistake and they think that it is going this way. So remember, when we have minus v1, it means that it doesn't like v1. So the head of the vector, the green vector, is going to v2 because it doesn't like v1, as you see. Okay, so this is something that I can tell you to remember easier. So this angle is 30 degrees. This is called alpha. Alpha can be obtained by tangent inverse of 3/4, which is 36.87. Make sure that you use your calculator and find it now. So, and this angle is equal to this angle. Why? But if you have two parallel lines and another line, let me use this color. Another line, cut this two parallel line. This angle will be equal to this angle. I can show you here. Okay, now make it a little better. So the same thing here. So this is 30, so this will be 60 degrees, and we have already obtained alpha, so 36.87 plus 60 will be the angle that is in between of these two vectors. So also we have the length of each vector of v1 and v2. Now we use the law of cosines. You need to memorize this. So how can we use the cosine formula? If you have this length of each side for a triangle, so you know two sides and the included angle, then you can find the third side. So we know what is A and what is B, and the included angle, which is, for example, C capital. You just plug it in the first formula, and then you can find C lowercase. Okay. This is another way, but you will get the same result, and v prime will be equal to 36.13 units. Now for finding theta x, we need to find beta here. What is beta? I just move the v2 minus v1 here, and this is minus v1, because if v1 is directing that way, minus v1 is the opposite way. So sine of beta over the length of v1 is equal to sine of 60 plus alpha over v prime, because this is v2 minus v1, which is equal to, the length of this is equal to v length of v prime. And then by plugging to this formula we can find beta. Beta plus alpha and plus 90 will be 174.77. So for using the algebraic solution, which is my favorite, you need to decompose it to I and j. So v1, what is the length of v1? 27. What is the angle with x-axis? 30. So it will be 27 cos 30 degree times I plus 27 sine 30 degree j. And for v2 we do the same. We need to find the angle between v2 and positive x-axis, which is equal to 90 plus this angle, and you can use the same formula. But I didn't put cosine of 90 plus alpha, because you know that cosine of 90 plus alpha will be equal to minus sine alpha, and sine of 90 plus alpha will be equal to cosine of alpha. So we have v1 and we have v2, then v prime will be v2 minus v1. There is one problem with this. Actually, one of my friend helped me to create this, Dr. Qingyun Wang. So it should be in capital because it is a vector. Remember, don't make this mistake. And it shouldn't be a scalar. Sorry, italic. This is italic, you see. It should be in bold font. So then you just plug v2 and v1 in this formula and you find everything. When you find something similar to, for example, something multiplied to I and plus something multiplied to j, the value of v prime will be sqrt of or root square of this value, the coefficient, this coefficient squared plus the coefficient that is multiplied to j, which is 3.3 squared, and you can find it. You can find b prime, which is equal to the same thing that we obtained before. And how about theta x? Theta x is a little tricky, but in general you need to find out first tan inverse of, remember, tan inverse of this value over this value first. And then it depends. If it is in, we have 4 quarter, yeah? I'm sorry, quadrants, I mean. So this is the top right ones. The sign of x and y is plus. And this quadrant, or I mean top left one, the sign of x is minus, like here, and the sign of y is plus. So when we are using the top left like this, we use this formula, 180 plus tan inverse of this value divided by this, or 180 minus tan inverse of absolute value of the coefficient of j over I.